Good morning and welcome to this gathering of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Fayetteville. Unitarian Universalism is a liberal religious tradition that values freedom in religious thought and journey. We uphold the unity of our interconnections, connections to each other, to all of life, and to the precious universe of which we are a part. We affirm the universality of love and hope as we journey together in community, and we welcome you, whoever you are, at this moment and wherever you are in your spiritual journey. For those joining us for the first time on Facebook, please check out our website, uufayetteville.org. For more information and to sign up to receive the weekly email, you can always unsubscribe if you want. For those visiting here in person today, you'll find in the seat backs visitor information cards that look like this, and we would love for you to fill out one so that we can get you on the email list and keep you informed about things happening here. If you already gave us your contact information and your name, you don't need to do that again. We also have yellow joys and concerns cards in the seat backs. If you have a joy or a concern that you would like to share, we invite you to fill out that card. There's a place to indicate if you want your joy to be shared, your joy or your concern to be shared, or if you want it to be confidential, and confidential ones are shared only with leadership. In a few minutes, you'll have an opportunity to bring the card to the front up here and drop a stone if you want. You also may drop a stone even if you don't fill out a card. The cards are not necessary. And if you're watching on Facebook, welcome. Thank you for being with us. And at the Joys and Concerns time, you may write your comments there. Know that those will be public. We can't avoid that. And also, a staff nursery is downstairs for whenever you might need it. And now we have our chalice sliding by Joanna and Sam.
Right. Love is the spirit of this community, and service is its prayer, to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in truth, and to help one another. Thus do we covenant together. Thank you.
Morning, everybody. Sorry, I was just enjoying the peaceful vibe. So we're going to sing Blue Boat Home, a great ode to the earth. Please rise in spirit or body. The words will be up on the screen for you. Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean. I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Thank you. Please be seated.
Now is the time for joys and concerns. As a diverse people, we share our joys and concerns with one another. Sometimes we're lifted by joy, and sometimes we're brought down by sorrow. Thus is to be human. Sometimes we rejoice, and sometimes we mourn. In all those times, we support and care for each other as a fellowship. We invite you to share your ups and downs as you desire. You're invited to come to the front, as Reverend Stephen referenced earlier. Thank you, Dinah. And drop a stone for any joy or concern, shared or confidential, expressed or held in your heart. As you drop your stone, may you experience the spread of love and support. I always enjoy the ritual. You may also bring your cards to me, as Dinah just did, and on the cards, just indicate whether or not you want your comment to be shared or whether you want it kept confidential. And if you need to stay where you are, just raise your card and someone will get it for you and bring it. And if you are attending virtually, you can write your joys and concerns in the comments, but just know that those are public because there's not a way to keep them confidential. So you're welcome now to bring any to me, or we'll come get them. So considerate. So, Reverend Stephen is going to drop the stones. Was everybody able to hear Quinn, or should I repeat those? Okay. So, we drop a stone for joys and concerns, also not spoken, because we know those are true. And we drop another for joys and concerns that we will experience in the coming week. Let us have a moment of silence as we hold all of these joys and concerns in our hearts. Thank you.
Let's take up the offering now.
Sorry about that, y'all. I was thinking we were having some music first. So thank you for taking up the offering. It's important work of this fellowship is actually made possible because of generous contributions of our time and our energy and what we can provide financially as well. So every contribution of every size is helpful and appreciated. And thank you for what you provided today. You can also give, if you prefer, at uufayetteville.org. And we've got some other ways of giving, too, that are starting up via our new software program, Realm. So, and I think Joe will be telling us more about that.
So I've been asked to talk about something related to earth care and climate change today. And although I've learned a little bit about it through the years, it has not been my focus. And recently I was at a group dinner and I had this book with me and somebody asked me about it. And so we were talking about it, and then an elementary school child at the table said, as soon as I mentioned climate change, he said, "Climate change is bad." And so we had a good conversation about climate change and about the fact that the climate is always changing. We can't stop that. We don't really have a need to stop that. It's just the way things are, the way life is, right? The climate is always changing, but how it is changing is important. And the consequences of what we do are important. And so, in a way, the child was right that the way the climate is changing right now and the speed at which it is changing is bad, even though it's going to always be changing. Several years ago, I watched a documentary called 13th, and it changed my life. It exposed my mind and my heart in new ways to racial injustices and their consequences. And it changed my understanding of my own role in the chaos and made me think about what my response needs to be and how I need to live as who I am. How many of you were able to watch 2040 yesterday? God, a number of you, yes. And even though I wasn't here with you, I also watched it. And 2040 had a similar effect on me as 19th did. Help me be more aware in a different way. And help me think about my role, my response, my responsibility. We know the problem, and if you don't, I encourage you to go to our website and watch Bill Nichols' message from April 2nd. I also encourage you to watch the 2040 film. Both are available for free. The problem is that humanity's actions in the last few centuries have messed up the balances of gases in our atmosphere, creating what we have called the greenhouse effect, even though it's not exactly the same process as a greenhouse. The effect is somewhat similar. And Earth retains too much heat and gets rid of too little heat. And the problem has many causes, such as fossil fuel usage and farming practices that deplenish the soil, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we've had opportunities to learn about the problem and maybe some of the causes, but what can be done? According to 2040, some of the possible strategies to deal with this climate change include solar panel microgrids, where neighborhoods share solar energy and even neighborhoods can share with neighborhoods. And that is good for energy and economics. For more details, you can watch the film. There are also some farming changes that can be helpful so that soil is richer and has more of what it needs. And ocean permaculture also, which was a fascinating part of that film. So 2040 lays out some possible strategies for dealing with climate change. And this little book that Dinah loaned me called What We Know About Climate Change gives some ideas as well. Now, there are different editions of this, so I encourage you to get the most recent edition. Although it would be interesting to read all of them and compare, because this kind of information changes, right, as the climate changes and as we learn more. But this book, provided by MIT and written by one of MIT's professors in atmospheric science, provides 3 categories of responses: mitigation, adaptation, and geoengineering. Mitigation options include things like high-efficiency vehicles, which have been a little on the expensive side, so it might not be an option for all of us. Solar and wind power, nuclear fission, and the capture and storage of greenhouse gas components so that we have less carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Adaptation strategies include things like crop substitutions, strengthening seawalls, and planning for increased requests for basic needs in times of disasters. And then there's also this category of responses called geoengineering. And one of these I found really fascinating. There's an idea that we could add some sulfur to the stratosphere, which is part of the atmosphere, to reflect the sunlight upward. So right now, basically, we have just the clouds reflecting. So the sulfur aerosol would increase the reflection, so we would retain less of the heat. So there are a lot of options that are fascinating, and I want to learn more about them. Because really, 2040 did have that effect on me, I think, and so I'm going to be learning more and more. But a lot of these options are so big and beyond me. They might help me cast a vote. But beyond a vote, what can I do if I'm not going to become a scientist or a politician or a billionaire to influence the politicians and scientists? If I'm just going to be me, little old me, what can I do? So I have 3 suggestions for the rest of us who are not experts with a lot of power in all of this. First, we can learn. We can watch films like 2040. We can read books like this, and there was a similar one you gave me that Bill Gates had written. We can learn. And of course, pay attention to the credibility of our sources. And the second thing we can do is to be part of a group such as this that will keep us updated and informed and will announce opportunities. Even just the justice updates can be a very helpful reason to be part of this community. So we can learn, keep learning, never assume that we know all we need to know. Second, be part of a group that will keep us updated and informed about opportunities. And third, occasionally, maybe once a quarter, depends on your life, but occasionally choose one ongoing change for your household one change to make for the earth's sake, for the climate's sake. So every once in a while, maybe once a quarter, it might need to be once a year for you, whatever the frequency, on a regular basis, think, what can I do or what can we do as a household to care for the earth? And then implement that one ongoing practice. And it can be something small, as big or small as you need it to be. It can be, from now on, any time that I have a soda, I'm going to make sure that I find a recycling bin for the container instead of just throwing it in the trash. That's something simple. And if you can't find one, keep it with you until you get home and put it in the recycling bin. That's one option. Might or might not work for you. Of course, there's this general guideline that a child said in the 2040 video. The children's comments were fantastic. But one of them mentioned that traditional motto of reduce, reuse, and recycle. And so we can think about that in various aspects of our lives. We might be able to choose to drive less, or to use maybe even use other modes of transportation. I know that's difficult here. We might be able to nurture a plant if planting a whole garden is too much for us. We might choose to turn off unused lights and computers and TVs. We might choose to eat more local and natural foods. And the list can go on because there's so many things that we can do. And the key speaker, the main speaker in the 2040 video, Damon, says something like, this can be very overwhelming, and we can be tempted to just give up because it's the problem is so big, and there's so much that needs to be done. But maybe there's one little thing that I can do on an ongoing basis that I can choose right now today to do. And a few months from now, I might choose to add another ongoing change to my life. And if we do that, the more people doing that, the more effect we can have on the earth as little old me and little old you doing our thing. And being in a community that shares a commitment to this interdependent web helps us keep trying instead of giving up. It helps us find ideas and inspiration. And now we get to welcome a few new members into this community that cares for the earth. So I invite the leaders of that ceremony to come forward, and the new members will be asked to come forward in just a moment, and I'll get my script.
Well, this is such an exciting day. Personally, I'm thrilled, because it's our Earth service, but it's also exciting because we have so many wonderful new people wanting to join our fellowship and making that commitment today. For those of you that don't know, my name is Joanna Person-Mitchner, and I'm the president of the board of directors this year. So we're welcoming a lot of new members to our fellowship, and membership is a big decision. This service reminds me so much of when Sam and I joined, and it wasn't that long ago. It was like 2018. So, there's such a sense of belonging here and support, and that is very important. We all need social support. But it's also a commitment to our covenant, to the vision and the mission of this fellowship, to our principles. And the Unitarian Universalist Association is international. So when you join, you're joining a large community with rich history. Now, I think our Reverend Dr. Stephen Gaines is going to say a few words.
I am going to say a few words. Members choose to join for many different reasons, including intellectual stimulation, religious education, emotional support, and personal and spiritual growth in a communal environment. Seeking to be a member of a Unitarian Universalist congregation comes when we want to give more and get more from life. It comes when we are ready to join a community of like-minded people who are exploring the deeper meanings of life, of how we relate to each other and to the world around us. It comes when we look at our world and find it in need of peace and justice, and we believe we can help, knowing we'll have greater impact acting in a community than by standing alone. As we welcome these newest members into our community, I encourage all of you to reflect on your commitment to this congregation. Recall why you are a member. Think about how this fellowship supports your spiritual journey and how you can support another member in theirs. How can you keep your membership as fresh as the day you signed the book? And next up, a representative from our Connections team will say a few words. This is Edith? Okay, great.
Hello. A welcoming ceremony is not just about our newest members. It is about the fellowship as a whole. Here we've created a loving community where diversity is not simply accepted, it is celebrated. Each one of us brings a unique quality that adds to the culture of our spiritual community. Here we can grow personally stronger and work together to create a better world by being supportive of one another in our differences. This ceremony welcomes new people, new ideas, new strength to our community, and reminds us that we are a people of change and renewal. Change and renewal that new members represent. Being a member of this fellowship involves 3 steps: taking the Being UU class, signing the membership book, and submitting a pledge form. This morning, we have the pleasure of introducing 9 new members. Here. There's this. Okay, I need the, okay, they're all in there. I need all the certificates. Okay. Would each candidate for membership stand as your name is called and come forward to stand to my left, to my left by the pulpit and face the congregation? If your children are present with you, we invite them to join you if they want. First one is Kaylee Armendez and Joseph Armendez. Welcome. Benjamin Hillard. Benjamin. Enoch Anglin. Okay. Diana Lampkin. Dane, oh, I'm sorry. Ralph Lamping. Ginger Rogers. Maria Donnelly. Mark Rupp. And Lynn's White. Yay.
Thank you, Edith. Welcome. By becoming a member of this fellowship, we ask that you share your time, your talents, and your treasure as you are able. We ask that you be curious about this place and its people, this movement, our history, and become part of building our vision in the future. We ask that as you become settled, you come to trust us, to ask for help when you need it, and to give help to others as you can. And we ask that you nurture and support your fellow UUs as you grow and work together to create an environment that is warm and caring. We do that together. As you are ready to commit yourself to this community, to Unitarian Universalism, and to its covenant of relationship, if you are, please say, I am. Thank you. On the table is our treasure book of members. See that book right there? And it tells a long and distinguished history of this congregation. A very human story of the life of a covenanted religious community. It's a story that is still being written, and now it will continue with your help. When you have signed, we have a certificate of membership and welcoming gifts for you and a rose. With your signature, you signify that you are in covenant with us. Y'all are doing great. We don't do this every Sunday. Oh, thank you, Joseph. So, don't go away yet. So, will the members of the UUFF please rise in body or spirit? As members and keepers of this congregation, you are asked to share with these members the passion and promise that you bring to this community. You are asked to learn their names, their stories, their hopes and dreams, and to let them know yours. Make room for them at the table, the activities and committees, but be gentle and let them choose their own commitments. Remember that they will need your care at times, and when you are in need, they will be among those who care for you. Understand that as they become more deeply connected to this community, their contributions will change the UUFF, and that change will be for the better because of their presence. Members, do you now pledge to walk in covenant with these new members and welcome them into their new religious home? If you do, please say, we do. We do. Please remain standing. The Dr. Reverend Stephen Gaines will approach.
Together, let us speak the words of welcome, which are up here on the screen. In a covenant of fellowship and love. Oh, yes. We're reading this together. All right. In a covenant of fellowship and love, we unite to cultivate reverence and thoughtfulness, to promote spiritual growth and ethical commitment, to minister to each other's needs and to those of humanity, to celebrate the sacred moments of life's passage and honor the interconnection with all at the heart of our being. And now the members say this line: we welcome you to this fellowship with all our hearts. And the new members, we join this. So may it be. Welcome to UUFF. And you are free to be seated as we have a special hymn that we do after each new member ceremony called "This House is Yours." And this song is for you.
And now you get to stand up again. We're going to sing about it. This is a great song. And Renee's going to join me in singing "This House is Yours."
This is the time where we extinguish our chalice. Thank you, Sam. You can use this handy instrument. All right, so we're going to do this together. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Okay. Good job.
Well, now we're at the most exciting time of the service, the announcements time. You've all been waiting for this. I really thank you for being here. This has been an exciting, encouraging time for me, largely because of your presence. And I'm glad that you chose to use your time in this way. We do have announcements. I probably won't read them all. They're on our website and on the Order of Service program handout thingy and up here on the slides. Let's see. We have the grounds work Thursday, board meeting Thursday. Oh, a potluck. Nice. I like that one. April 30th after the 11 a.m. service, there'll be a potluck and maypole dance. So you come enjoy that.
Thank you. I think we're going to have a post sleep and hang out.